I got all ready to film my wrap up for October, and they're doing some type of like construction or something, like working on the power lines over there, and they're like digging a hole. This is like right outside of the window of my filming room. So, well, technically it's across the street, but like is right there. So I'm gonna give them like 10 or 15 minutes and see if maybe it stops or gets quieter. I don't know if it's loud enough that you could hear it in the video, but like it's loud enough that it would annoy me. This is the vlog, by the way. Welcome to the vlog. It's November 1st. I should have introduced that first. I've already finished a book. So it's either just going to be a terrible reading month or a fantastic reading month, and there's no in between. I finished my Gilmore Girls book. It was not great, but like it's a novelization of like 3 episodes or something. It was a weird combination of them. Didn't love it. Didn't expect to. I have this more as like a keepsake for the show rather than like a book in its own right. So it doesn't really matter so much to me. But I don't know. It's not like the worst thing I've ever read. The weird thing is it's only from Rory's perspective. So like you miss a lot of the show. Like you only get scenes that Rory is in, which I don't know. It was like a weird choice, I feel like. I would have preferred to see more of it, but like it kind of just made me feel like if I'm gonna do this, I'd rather just watch the show. Like I don't understand why you would read this, but you know, I have it. It's cute. Like I do just like, this is for the show, you know, this is not a book. But it's off of my TBR. Also, really annoying thing, unimportant thing, but very annoying to me. I read The War of the Worlds, so I went to mark it off of my TBR spreadsheet because like this is a thing that I do. I find it very satisfying, and it wasn't on there. So apparently when I created that spreadsheet, I just left off The War of the Worlds, which like has happened with a few other things. There are some books that like I just forgot because like I was adding, you know, several hundred books at one time when I created it. And then there are some books I put on there that like I had read just because I was in a hurry. Like it's a lot, like the margin of error was there. And it doesn't really matter because like I hadn't read it. It was on my TBR. It's just annoying that I couldn't mark it off the sheet. So I did read it though. Next, I'm going to start The Likeness by Tana because the ebook I'm reading is not a thriller, so I feel like this is a prime time to read a thriller, and this is one that I needed to get to. I didn't like her first book. I think it was called In the Woods. I found that very annoying. I found the ending maddening. It has been so many years since I read that. Like it's probably been like 9 years or 10 years or something. Probably like 9 years. And I'm still so mad about that ending. So I haven't read anything else by her, but like this is her second book, or at least the second in this like series, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading this. It's thick. I feel like last month was the month of like small books. I read a lot of small books. So I think this month I'm gonna go for like maybe fewer books, but thicker books. Cause I don't wanna just read small books. I was just in a mood. So yes, this is my update. I would like to say, for the record, it's getting louder outside, not quieter. So I might should just go ahead and film that video because I gotta film it today. I don't have that many days off work. My day off work is today, and then I'm going back. So, you know, I should just go film that. I am cooking tonight because I'm off and like I gotta have food for the next week, and it's either cook tonight for the week or just have to find food after work every day. So I'm making spaghetti. I love spaghetti, like good spaghetti, not like mediocre spaghetti. So I figured I would show y'all some of what I'm making / cooking, eating. I don't know. Enjoy, I guess. Lemur. Come here. Say hi. Say hi to everybody. You know? She likes everybody. Especially if you have corners she can rub her chin on. I actually turned on the lights in here because I was tired of having very dim vlog clips. I just got off work. Today was the last of the hard days for a minute. We had inventory a few days ago, and then we had a major corporate walk today, which like we spend like days and days and so many hours in overtime preparing for, and then they walk around the store for 10 minutes and are like, y'all look good. And it's just like so much freaking out and stress for basically nothing. But my manager was pleased about it, so there's that. And also we were doing the Christmas changeover, so like we have to change the whole giant seasonal aisle from Halloween stuff to Christmas stuff, and it's just like a lot of work and a lot of time, but that's fine. Tomorrow is my last day, and then I'm off for 9 straight days for my vacation, which like I could cry. I need that so badly. Just like desperately. Reading. I'm concerned about my audiobook on account of the whole being off on vacation thing. I usually listen to my audiobook when I drive, and I mostly drive on my commute to work, so, and it's a long audiobook, so I don't know if I'm gonna get through it, and I also don't know if I can renew it. Like, I have 2 weeks, but it's like I'm listening to Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom, which is really good. Like, I definitely recommend it. It's really interesting. I didn't know that much about his life, so it's really interesting to learn about it, and also about apartheid Africa. But yeah, it is really good. It's just like an autobiography. Like, I don't know. There's not much to say there, apart from it's really enjoyable. But it's just long. And I only have 2 more weeks with it, and like I'm not that far in. I don't know, we'll see. That's a problem for later. I'm just trying to make like a point of listening to it a little extra every day. My physical book, I am reading The Likeness by Tana French. And I usually try not to be this judgmental with books, but oh my god, this has the stupidest premise I've ever read, maybe in any book ever. Like, it's a thriller, and essentially the detective in this finds a murder victim who looks just like her and has stolen her identity. She was an undercover cop for a while, and this murdered girl had stolen one of her undercover identities. So she decides that they're going to pretend like this girl is still alive, and because she looks like this unknown girl, she's going to go undercover as her and like live with her roommates and hang out with her friends and go to her classes, and like in no universe would this work. None. Literally never. It's so dumb. Like, it's ridiculous. It's not, I cannot suspend my disbelief that much. Like, whatever else this book is doing good and interesting, it's like I cannot get past the fact that you cannot go undercover as a murder victim and hang out with her roommates who she's been best friends with for 3 years. Like, they would know. It's so, like, I'm trying to get through it. Like, it's bad because this is my second of her books, and the first one was In the Woods, and I kind of like things about that, but like I hated the ending. The ending had like the least closure I've ever read in any book ever, and this is just like such a stupid premise. Like, I'm sorry, it is. I can't get past it. And it sucks because like I want to like these books. I like her writing style. I kind of like the way she writes thrillers because it is a lot more, I don't want to say literary, like thrillers are generally bad or like commercial is bad, but it is like, in some ways it is written more like general fiction than it is like a straight thriller, but it has a very thriller plot and it's really like interesting and I really enjoy it. But like, oh, it's so stupid. Like, no, like this could not happen. It wouldn't. Like, you can't capture like her voice and like the way she moves and like all the information, and like it just would not work. It wouldn't work. But I'm gonna read this, and then yeah, I have one more of her books on my shelf, and it's just like I want to like her so bad because there are so many things about her books I like. It's just that there's always like one thing that I can't get past, and I don't know. Like, am I wrong? Is this not stupid? Because it seems ridiculously stupid to me. But it's fine. I'm going to be reading it. And I also made progress on my ebook today. I picked a bad ebook. Not that it's like bad. It's a good book. It's just like more involved and more like thought-provoking, kind of. I usually go with thrillers because when I read ebooks at work, I like dip in and out of them real quick. Like I might read for like 2 minutes in the back room and then like go about my day. And with thrillers, it's super easy to like jump in and out a lot. And with this book, it's not. So I've been reading it way less. And also things at work have been so stressful anyway that like it's not been really possible to read very much. But I made a lot of good progress today. I read like 150 pages. So I'm hoping to read a lot on that tomorrow because then I might leave it for a week. I don't know. I don't really want to leave it for a whole week. But also I don't really read ebooks outside of work. I shouldn't have picked a long ebook and a long audiobook right before going on vacation. But that's where we are. I hate when I'm trying to film a video and then it just like cuts off in the middle and deletes the video, and now I'm just like, I don't want to talk about anything anymore. I already talked. But it doesn't count because it didn't record properly. I'm trying to think what I said. I have had terrible luck with my short, easy books lately. Whenever I read something that's like dense or heavy or long or like has a big emotional impact on me, I tend to follow it up with something that's like short, easy, like something that's not going to be like a lot of effort involved for me to read. Like, doesn't mean that I think it's going to be a bad book or anything. Like, this is not like a negative thing. I quite enjoy a lot of these books, but just like because I can't like handle something that's like heavy, like too many heavy things in a row. I gotta split it up. So the books I've been reading recently for that have just been so bad. Like I read a Dear America book, and it is the first Dear America book I've read as an adult that's not been good. Like normally they're like really good, and this was just like really not. And then I read a David Sedaris book, like his holiday book, and like that was terrible. Like I am usually like kind of hit or miss on David Sedaris, but that was a genuinely painful read. Like worst David Sedaris I've ever read by far. Multiple times the worst David Sedaris essay I'd ever read, and it's just disheartening. So trying to do that. And also my arm hurts. It's way darker over here, but that's fine. Also, I've read 6 books of the month. I'm on my 7th, and today is the 7th of November. So mentally, my head is like, what if we read a book a day for November? And like, that is a terrible idea. Let's not do that. But I want to. And it's just like, I hate that I have to fight my brain on this, because it's just like, logically, that's a bad idea. Because it's not that I can't do it, because I could. Like, it would be very difficult. I'm not saying 100% I would do it, but if I tried to do it, there's a possibility that I could. It's just that it would take over my life. Like, I wouldn't have time to, like, do booktube the way I want, like, make my own videos, watch enough videos, like, keep up with people's channels, and I wouldn't have time for, like, life stuff. And it would just be so much stress and pressure trying to do it and trying to, like, pick short books that I can get through a book a day and also work. Like, I'm on vacation right now, so like that's why I'm doing it. But it's just like, in general, when I'm working 40 hours a week and have an hour-long commute, it's not gonna work. Like, again, I could do it maybe, but I don't know. I think I'm trying to like sabotage myself on that today so it just gets out of my head. Like really focus on watching booktube and just like watch booktube all day because I'm like 10 days behind. Whoops. And I had to like film a video and get that up today because I almost forgot. Let's double ups. But if I can just like get through today, like not watch, not read anything, or not read anything, but like not finish my book, then maybe I'll get out of the mindset of like a book a day. Because I can't do that. Like I don't have time to like have it messing up my life right now. So I'm trying to get through that. I would like to do that because there are points in my life where I have done that. I'm a fast reader, and especially if I'm picking like quicker books, I could do it, but like I shouldn't. So I'm trying to talk myself out of that, and also catch up on booktube because I am so far behind. And also read a lot. I gotta read a lot. I have too many books on my TBR. I just look at it and I'm like, there are so many and I'm making no progress. Oh no. Mommy. As I sit over here in an awkward position trying to get some natural light, I just want to make a comment on the cover of the book I'm about to read. This is a birthday gift. It's a thriller. It sounds very interesting. This is not a comment on like the book itself, just the cover. But please tell me, does this not just look like every thriller cover right now? Like, what is this font? Why does every single thriller in existence use this font now? Like, why? Like, I don't hate it. I'm just confused because it is so obscenely overused. But like, I don't know. It sounds cool. I'm gonna read it. Like, I know the author didn't like choose the font of the cover, but like, they all look the same. Like, this looks like every freaking Riley Sager, Lisa Foley, Lucy Foley, whatever. It looks like all of them. So, okay. I'm gonna read this though. Hopefully it's better than the cover. Mimi, do you want it? Excuse me, ma'am. Do you want it? I started reading Brown Girl Dreaming last night, and as I was reading it, I'm not very far in. I was very tired. But as I was reading it, I was like, this seems so familiar. So I checked Goodreads, and Goodreads says I hadn't read it. So I checked my reading journal, and my reading journal said I hadn't read it either. So I was like, I guess I haven't read this, but it seems like so familiar. And then I read a few more pages and I was like, I'm gonna check my library app and like look at my library history and see if it's there, and it was. And I was like, okay, I feel less crazy now, but also like, how did this book manage to elude both my Goodreads and my reading journal? So I am this morning, it's like 7 a.m. I'm going through and fixing my Goodreads and my reading journal because I think when I was not active on YouTube, I kind of didn't update consistently. So that's what this morning is going to be. I've already found another book that wasn't on here that I did remember reading. This, like, I did remember it, like, clearly. I'm like 50 pages in and I was like, I have for sure read this, and I had. So it's really good. I'm gonna keep rereading it because I did really enjoy it the first time. But yeah, I want to make sure my Goodreads and my reading journal are up to date. Spleen, calm down. It's 7 a.m. And then at some point I want to do a flip through of my reading journal because it's fun. I mean, not that my reading journal is nice to look at. It's literally just a book of title, author, date I finished, up or down arrow, whether I liked it or not. So but I've been doing that since like 2010, so it might be interesting just for the length of time that it covers. Man. My natural lighting sucks today because it's so rainy and overcast, so I'm trying to like practice how to film videos without like natural lighting. I don't know. This doesn't look good to me, but like I have limited lighting, so you know. I just wanted to update because I haven't updated in a minute. Basically, I worked a bunch of days in a row, up through Thanksgiving. So today's like the 27th, I think, possibly. And I've just been still reading, still doing things. Have mostly caught up on BookTube at this point, which is good. But I don't know. I've just been tired and behind on everything. So that's why. I have been working on 7 Games by Oliver Roeder, which was a book I got for my birthday. He's big on like game theory. I think he has like a PhD in game theory or like a master's, or I don't know. He has studied game theory in depth in higher education. I have not. This is just like a history of like a bunch of basic games. What does it cover? Checkers and chess are the 2 I've read so far. The next chapter is on Go, which is going to be interesting because I know nothing about Go. It's like reading about checkers and chess was like, I, obviously am familiar with these games and the rules of them. It's also backgammon, poker, Scrabble, and bridge. So I can play literally all of these except for bridge and Go. So those will be interesting chapters, but this is really good. It's really worthwhile. It's kind of dry, so like I'm reading it very, very slowly. I've been reading it for a few weeks now, and it's just like I read a chapter about like one game and then kind of put it down for a while. But it's still like worth it if you're interested, because it is very, very interesting, just like a little dry. And I finished, oh, where is it? Over here. Conquest of the 10, which is the 3rd book in the Constellation Saga, and it is the last book that is currently out. 3 stars, enjoyed it. I'm about to film a review on these. If I can figure out the lighting situation here, which I still don't like. Oh, is this better? No, yes, maybe, I don't know. No, because it's just shiny now. I need to like experiment more with this because I just rely so much on natural lighting. And now that it's winter, like if I want to rely on natural lighting, it means I cannot film on days that I work at all. But I read this, it was good. I think I gave this one 3 stars. The rest of them I gave 4 stars. They're all like the same-ish quality. This was just like slightly less enjoyable, and like they're all like on the border of like 3 and 4. But it's a really fun fantasy series. I really enjoyed it. Lots of great characters, just like paced a little too fast for me, this one especially. But I don't know if I plan to continue on with the series. Like, this is the last one that's out now, and I've read the 3. And this kind of had an ending that offered, like, some closure. Like, not complete closure, but, like, enough closure that I kind of felt like this could wrap it up for me. And, like, do I want to read more? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I care enough to, like, continue to be invested in what I assume is going to be a rather long-running series. Like, not that it's bad, it's really good, but it's like the same kind of thing I felt with John Scalzi's Old Man's War, which I really, really enjoyed that book. That book was so much fun, and I kind of just decided, like, this kind of wrapped it up nice for me. This was an enjoyable experience. I don't need to add any more sequels to it, but I don't know. That will be a decision I make when the next book comes out, but I would really recommend this if you like character-driven fantasy. And hopefully my review on this is already out, because I'm supposed to be filming that in like 5 minutes. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently reading, plus my ebook, which I don't remember what it is at the moment. I only read them at work, and I've had like 3 days off now. And then my audiobook. I did not finish Nelson Mandela's book. I was so close. I was so close. And then just like, I thought I had an hour and a half left until it was due, and I had like an hour left to listen to. So I was like, I got this. And then it turned itself in. I did not have an hour and a half left apparently, which was such a bummer. But I have it back from the library now, so I'm going to listen to it and finish it up and then get it off my shelf, because it's good. It's his autobiography. I don't know how else to describe that one. Like, it's his autobiography. So yeah, that's it. That's what I'm reading. That's what I'm doing. I've been so behind on everything. Like, I just want to have a regular job with a regular schedule where it's not like, where it's just like, I want to work like 5 days in a row and then get 2 days off like every week. That'd be nice, instead of like, oh, last week I worked 9 consecutive days to get 3 days off in a row, and then I'll work 3 days and then get 1 day off and then work another 3 days. Like, it's so much. But yeah, I've been reading a lot. Not as much off my physical TBR as I had been earlier in the month, but still reading, still getting things done, still productive. I have to wrap up the vlog because it's November 30th. I read things, I did things. Thanks for watching. Now I figured I'd give a short reading update. I'm working on The End of the Twins by Saul Diskin, which I started ages ago, like years ago, and just read like the first 10 pages or something and then put it away and was like, not today. But this was one of the books on my extended TBR, which, I'm gonna be honest, I only read one from that this month, which is not good. I'm trying to read like minimum 2. So I was like, I should try to get this done. I'm not gonna finish this. I am just like barely into it and I'm not loving it. It's very dry and slow and kind of a struggle bus. I remember not being able to get into it when I started it a few years back and just like picked it up, read a few pages and was like, now's not the time. But I kind of thought it was just my mood. But now that I'm reading more, like, I don't know what he's doing here. He's not really a writer, I don't think. He's just some dude who wrote as a hobby and then published this. And like, I don't know. It's like, I can't pick out anything that's like wrong with his writing, but I can't pay attention to it. Like, I just like cannot focus on what he's saying. I'm so unbelievably bored. And this is just about like grief, essentially, and like his twin brother's death. And like, I haven't actually gotten to the death yet. I'm like at the beginning. I'm hoping maybe it'll pick up once he stops like recapping their lives, because it does feel like he kind of was like, this was our childhood, this was a summary of our adulthood, and then he got diagnosed with leukemia. So now I'm hoping it's gonna like settle down and get into like the meat of the book. I gotta put that down. My arm hurts. Yeah, I'm not loving that, but I do enjoy having the extended TBR. I did it a while back in like September or October. I think probably September. I did like an extended, I called it reading my backlist. And I like having that a lot better than like doing the like month to month TBRs, because I could put like 10 things on that, leave them out on my shelf. You can see them like up there, and down here. But like have them out so it's like they're there, like I'm looking at them every day. I'm like feeling guilty that I'm not picking them up, and like I have been pretty consistently picking them up. So I feel like I'm just gonna do one of those every few months instead of like trying to go back to doing monthly TBRs at all, because this works a lot better for me and it feels a lot less stressful, and I'm actually still getting these books read. I have how many left? 4. I have 4 of the, well, I think it was like 13 books, but one was a series, so let's say 10. 4 of the 10 books left, and like, I'm gonna be honest, 3 of the ones that are left are gonna be rough. Not like bad, but just like intimidating wise. I've been putting them off, but I'm making progress. So I'm gonna keep doing that. Whenever I like get through one stack, I'll just film another TBR and that'll be fun. I only have 4 left, so yeah. I also started reading Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby when I was at work, which is like this really like, I think it's a thriller. It's so dark and brutal, like, oh my god. I really like it. And also it's local to me, which I might have known at some point, because I wasn't like shocked when I realized it was like set in Richmond, Virginia, which is where I'm from, but like I was not expecting it. But he's a local author. He lives like not right near me, but like a little bit like rural right from me. So I really like that, which is fantastic. And I'm gonna like, he has 2 other novels, one of which the library has and one they don't, so I gotta find the other one. But like, gonna read all his books. He's gonna be like one of my auto authors because I love when books are set near me. Like, it's fun to just like hear general areas and like recognize them and know what they mean. He's like, oh, this group of people's from Glen Allen, and I'm like, that tells me they're a certain type of person. Which is fun because it's like not something that he's like specifically saying in the book, but it's just like because I have my own knowledge of it, it makes it really enjoyable. But I'm liking that a lot. It's definitely like brutal, so just know that if you pick it up, but like would highly recommend it. I'm like halfway through. Won't finish it tonight, won't finish that tonight. I have all my books that I've already read, and I'm not finishing anymore, but it's been a really good reading month. I got 10 books off my physical TBR. I'm happy. I'm not sure I kept up with the vlog super well, but I don't know. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you did this month. Tell me what you read this month. Talk to me. I always appreciate that. And as always, I will see y'all again soon.